Today we explore the metal element. We're working with the lungs and large intestine meridian. Perfect practice, perfect sequence for autumn. Good morning. We're working with the metal element today, our lungs and large intestine. There's a lot of information in the post if you are interested. It's a very good practice to do in autumn when the temperatures start to go down and we're more prone to getting colds and viruses. So very good to boost our immune system and to get rid of staleness. Very good if you travel, for example, you're coming out of a plane, aircon, you want to clean your system. So please come along with me. We're going to start with some practice of pranayama, Brahmari breath. But first let's start to ground ourselves. I invite you to close your eyes and be present with your body and your breath. Start to feel your sitting bones, your spine. Feel how your spine elongating when you breathe in, lengthening. Keep that nice long spine on your exhalation. Maintain the length on your exhalation. Start to be aware of your quality. Breathing in, breathing out. 2 more times. And now open your eyes. Next time you breathe in, on your exhalation, we're going to pound a little bit with our fist, our chest, and doing this B sound. Brahmari means bee in Sanskrit. So we're going to keep going, breathing in. If you do already have some phlegm, this lodging is going to dislodge it, and maybe you're going to start to cough, but it's a way to get rid of unwanted thing in your lungs. And also I invite you, when you're doing your next one, not only to do the front but also going for the back, the lower part of your lungs. One more time, breathing in. You can also doing with your fingers and tapping. And taking a long, deep inhalation, exhale. We're going to go for a little bit more of energizing breath now. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Tuck your thumb inside the other fingers. And we're going to do 10 times. Force the air out. Nice inhalation, exhale, bring your hand behind you and the crown of your head towards the floor. Breathing in, we're going to repeat 2 more times. Breathe in. This time we go for 20. Breathe in. Exhale. One more, we go for 30. Keep going. Few more. By now we are nice and warm. We're going to stretch our legs out. If you do sitting on a little pillow, get rid of it. Stretching our legs, give them a little shake. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, exhaling. Spine on a C shape. One more time, breathe in. Inhale, bring your arms up and back. I want you to explain where are the meridians so you can see why we're doing certain things. Lungs, inner upper part of our arm on both sides, go all the way up into our lungs directly. Large intestine and other organs of release, outer edge of our arm, go upper neck, in your jaw, cross your face, right into the sinus area on the opposite side, the crossing. And there is another very deep path that is going through our hip, and so we're going to do a lot of hip opening as well in this sequence. Anyway, let's keep going. We're going to bring the arm up, taking the hand to the ground, finger facing forward, bend your knees. We're going to start to stimulating and stretching our arms. Lift your hips off the ground, push them up, feet parallel, knees parallel. If your neck is feeling good this morning, drop your head in between your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath and come back down. We're going to bring our right ankle on the top part of our knee. We're going to bend the knee, repeat it, coming up, drop that knee out, inhale, stay here for a breath. Exhale, coming back, and start to warm up this side of the body, this side of the leg. I'm going to do some nice big circles, crossing, maybe even push a little bit over to the other side and open the hips. See if you can get this knee over the armpit and really start opening and stretching your hips. Then we're going to bend the leg that is on the floor and start coming closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Bringing your hand behind, open your heart, open your chest, and come as close as possible to your shin without lifting your buttocks. So you need to find your edge that is not hurting, but is pushing you a little bit to the limit. And we're going to be here for another 2 breaths. It's like a variation of the figure 4 posture. One more breath. Don't collapse on your shoulder. Keep your chest and heart nice and open. And release. We're going to move back again. Breathe in, breathe out. Roll up. Bend your knees. And take your other leg, your other ankle, up on the upper part of your knee and lift yourself up. Breathe in to the top of your lungs. Exhale, try to drop that knee. Lift the hips. Coming down where you are, adjusting. And this side is feeling a little bit tighter for me. Trying to go closer and really stretching and opening your hip on the outside and where the area where you feel it mostly tight. Stay here for another breath. Of course, you can pause the video and hold it for a bit longer if it feels that you need a little bit more. And then release, stretch your legs out, breathing in, coming forward, rolling down and rolling up. Restack your spine. And from here, we're gonna have your left leg behind, right one in front. Inhaling. Exhaling, twisting to the right, bringing your fingers on the floor a little bit wider than your shoulder. Open your elbows, coming down, 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 stretching. And you will feel your shoulder blade come close to each other, touching. You can come down to the forehead or your chin, pressing to your fingers to come back up, back to the center, the leg that is behind, coming front, stretching your hamstring. And release, other side. Breathing in, breathing out, twisting to the left, fingers on the ground, shoulder blade touching, coming down to bring your chin or your forehead to the floor. Press into your fingers to come up, back to the center. And the leg that is behind, coming front, try not to rotating or falling towards the back, but keep your sitting bones on the ground and lengthen the hamstring. And release. We're going to move into a little bit of digestion, waking up. So we're going to be balancing on your sitting bones, your hand on the floor, and we're going to drop the knees towards the left, working on the ascending colon, and it has to be the left. And we're going to stretch the legs out on the inhalation and push the air out of your lungs on the exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going for 10. 5. Keep your knees, ankles, feet together. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Center, transversal colon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Descending colon. Over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And back to the center. A little bit of core practice as well. We're going to come into our cross leg, sliding and adjusting, hand under the shoulder, knees under your hips. Couple of cat-cow just to warm up the spine, leading with your tailbone. Your head is the last one to move. Lead with your tailbone also on the opposite direction. Pressing the hand to the floor, navel to the spine, chin to your chest. One more time on each direction. Get rid of morning stiffness. Come back to the center. Central position. And we're still working with our hips. So we're gonna lift the left leg up and we're gonna bring it back. While you do this, we're going to look at your toes and then come back and then stretch it open and you look at your toes. And again, I call this like a snake spine. And again, you must start feeling your buttocks muscles alive. And come back and over to the other side. Let me get a little bit further from the back. Stretch and snaky. 1, 2, last one, 3. Coming back, I want you to stretch your hand forward. Keep this angle, your knees in line with your hips, and just open your heart, open your chest, coming down. From here we're going to slide to the floor. And the one we're going to do today is a yin practice. That in the yin sequence we're going to hold it 3 minutes each side. But this time we're going to do it a little bit shorter. So you stretch your right arm out. The angle can vary, depend on the mobility of your shoulder. So I'll just show you on this side so you can see. You can go up a little bit to make it more intense, or you can go lower to make it easier. So you judge with your own shoulder mobility. And then you're going to roll over. Other options here, you can have your foot in front to support you. Or you can have it at the back. For me, I like it at the back because it makes me more open. You can support yourself with the fingers with of the left hand, or you can bring that arm behind you and tuck it under your waist, or you can interlace your finger behind your back. So different options. You're going to be here for 3 long, nice inhalation and exhalation. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. It's a mindful practice, slow but deep. So for the position of your arm, it's nice to put a little bit of pressure, but I don't want you to hurt yourself. So experiment, please, if you've never done this before. One more. And then release, coming back into your belly, over to the other side. Left arm in line with the shoulder. Come over. And the other one can come around so you can see how it is from the back. 3 breaths here. Fill up your lungs to the top. 1. 2. And 3, release, come back to your belly, bring your hand to the front, forehead on the ground, take a nice deep inhalation. When you exhale, we're going to lift the shoulder, interlacing your hand behind you, lift yourself up, pressing your feet, hip bone on the floor. Exhale, coming back, breathing in, breathing out. One more, inhaling, exhaling. Bring your hand under your shoulder and come up into upward dog. Or you can take it a little bit at a time and just come up halfway, elbow tucked in. Exhale. Breathe in. This time we're going to come all the way up and back into child posture as a counter posture. Moving slowly from back bending to forward bend. And then uncurl, unstuck, coming back, sitting on your heels. Keep going on for our shoulders and arm. So from our all four posture, we tuck under the toes and we come up into floating knee. We're going to inhale, lifting the left arm up. Exhale and thread the needle. 1, we're working with our core at the same time. 2 and 3, coming down to the knee, release, breathing in, breathing out all the way. We're going to bring our left shoulder on the floor, lifting the right one up and either around or up there or in the front if it's better for you. So experiment with the mobility of your shoulders. One more breath here. Lift yourself up over to the other side. Tuck under toes, floating, lifting, and thread the needle. Lifting, thread the needle. One more time. Lifting, thread the needle. Lower your knees, lifting your right arm up and come all the way. So I want you to really moving the fingers forward as much as is available. And I like to bring the left arm up rather than in front. And I like to bring it around my waist and tuck it in the inner side of my right thigh. And I'm going to be here for another breath. Exhale. Release. Coming back up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, tuck under the toes, and we come up into our first down dog of the day. Adjusting, checking, middle fingers facing forward, outer rotation of your upper arm, making space between your shoulder blade. Start to move your heels up and down, walking your dog. Tailbone sticking up, breathing in, looking forward. We're gonna lift the right leg up, step forward with your right foot, drop the left knee to the ground, lifting your torso up. Exhale, interlacing your fingers, open your heart, looking up. Coming back, hand on the floor, tuck under the toes, into the plank, breathing in, breathing out. Option number 1, drop your knees, chin, chest, elbow tucked in, upward dog, downward dog, roll on your toes. Inhale, lifting, left leg, step forward, drop the knee, release the toes, lifting up. Interlace your hand behind, open your heart, open your chest. Coming back, hand on the ground, into the plank, little vinyasa of today. Bend your elbow into chaturanga or repeat the variation we did before. Downward dog. Breathing in, look at the space between your hand. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhaling to come up. Look at your hand. Exhale into prayer position. And from here, we're going to move a little bit more into legs and arm. We're going to step back with your right foot. Make sure that you don't facing sideways, but you face with your hips the front of your mat. The toes of your right foot facing the front right corner of your mat. We're going to breathing in into Virabhadrasana number 1. Breathing out, we're going to come forward, 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 interlacing your hand behind you and all the way, bringing your right shoulder close to your your left shoulder by your left knee. Drop your head. Use gravity to pull you down. And release. Coming up, pressing into your feet. Use your leg to push you up so that you don't strain your lower back. Keep that connection with your hips and step to the front of the mat. Other side. Organizing your hips, your legs, coming up, front. Maybe this one is another option I like, is to feel like somebody's pulling you from your wrists before you bring your arm behind. So you lengthen. And then you're coming down, 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 down. Release and relax your neck. Lift your arm up and away from your shoulder socket and closer to the front of the mat. And then press into both your legs to come up. Step forward to the front. Breathing in. Breathing out. We're going to move into Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon. Some of you might need block. But yeah, feel free to use it. So, we're going to come down with your left hand to the left corner of the mat. Feel your legs straight and strong, lifting the right leg up into the sky. I like to keep my foot bent and not pointy. I feel that I get more stability when my foot is like this. And then you can lift your right arm up into the sky. And if it's available for you, you're looking up. Steady and strong. You can also wrap your arm around your shoulder.
around your waist, sorry. And open the shoulder. And release. Oop, I lost my balance. Bending the knees and roll up, one vertebra at a time. Ready to go to the other side. I'm just turning this way so you can see me. Breathe in. Long spine, breathe out. Right hand on the floor, weight onto your right foot. Lifting, opening the hips, opening your heart, lifting up. Steady and strong. Breathing in. Breathing out, coming back, bending your knees, uncurl, unroll, all the way up. Release. It can be a very long practice and slow but intense. And I'm going to add a couple more posture, and then maybe in the next few days adding bits and pieces if you want to make it longer, or if you want to have variation. We're going to move into a balance, and I like to go into the figure 4 balance. So the leg that support you with the knee bent. And, oopsie, found a spot on the floor that I haven't found yet to keep your eyes on, to gaze your eyes. We're going to come down for as much as available for you. We feel that you want to push down on this side so that you really keep opening in the hips. And here we go, balancing. One more breath. When we come out, we're going to bring this foot on the ground, fingers on the floor, and we're coming into Gomukasana. Lots of people struggle with this posture. So, alternative, if you feel that this knee is up here and you can't bring your knees on top of each other, go higher. You can use a little pillow or 2 pillows or 2 blocks, or make sure that you can go as high as you need to be able to stay in this posture for a few more breaths. And the other alternative are to bring the feet as close as possible to the front and stay here for a little longer, breathing in, breathing out, coming forward. Also, you can stay up here. It's getting a little bit more intense if you come forward. Navel tucked in, lengthening the spine, and you bring your chin over your knees. Very intense practice for your hips. And I also want to give you some option if your knees are not feeling good to stay in this position. So you can use this option. So your feet are in line with your hip, and you have a triangle if you look down in between your legs. Sometimes you're also staying like this on this side. You can use a pillow under here as an alternative. You can go higher again. And we're going to work on bringing a bit more weight into the front and stretching and opening that spot that feels tight in your hips. Keep your spine nice and long, elongated. And we stay here for a little bit longer. Third option, if you can try also, you have your feet in line with the mat. Again, you can go higher if it's excruciating in your hips. Yeah, so still you have a triangle between your legs, and the sole of your feet are parallel to the mat. This is the third alternative. But if you can be into Gomukhasana, another way to get into Gomukhasana, go onto your knees, and then you bringing your feet towards the front of the mat, and then you sit in between your legs. Enjoy the stretch, whatever way you are. Hold it for a little bit longer. It's really helping opening tight area. And then we want to get out. We want to come up into standing from where you are, and we're going to go to the other side. You can do it by yourself because it's getting too long. So I skip it and moving forward. We're going to do a last little sequence, and then we're going into our rest. We're going to breathing in, lifting up, coming down into the hand, bend your knees, step or jump into the plank. Inhale, exhale into Chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Yes or no with your head, lifting your right leg up, open to the side, look under your armpit. And then we're going to bring that leg into your chest. We're going to stretch it out to the left and lower the right hip to the ground. And then lift. And then lower to the ground. And then lift it up back into downward dog. Other side. Open. Make sure that your foot on the floor is not going sideways. Look under your left armpit. And then step that foot on the right side as higher as possible. And then lower that hip to the ground. I feel it. 2. And last one. 3. Back into downward dog, and we're going to do one last beautiful practice that is also including our arm. So we're going to lift the right leg up, bend, come over, bringing your feet close to each other, lifting your hips up, open your arm with your thumb, each hiking, so it's not going to the back, it's going to the side. We're going to stretch and open our lung meridian for the one last time. Coming back from where we started, you can go into child posture in between, or you can go straight to the other side, lifting, opening, going to bring your feet parallel, lifting the hips, open with your thumb, each hiking. Oops, the tent. Coming back. And release. Now we can go into child posture with your knees wide open. Release your belly in between. Take a moment to rest. And then moving into your Shavasana. Don't skip it. Shavasana is a time of your practice where you're absorbing the benefits and you allow the body to suck them in.
the cell to memorize. And is that very short time in your day when you don't have anything else to do, just be. Stay here for as long as it feels you need it. And I see you in your next element. Namaste.